I'm going to run away from home. What do you think? This one or this one? G'day, welcome to Bootlosophy. My name is Tech and I'm filming on Wajak country on Noongar Boodja. Now, I have a premise that when I'm traveling for short trips like 3 days, and bear in mind that I've been traveling on business for the last 4 decades, and then obviously a lot of social holiday type travel, I have a philosophy to pack as little as possible using capsule wardrobes. But then I also have a lot of gear that I carry with me, particularly now that I'm doing the Bootlosophy channel. So my philosophy is, as much as possible, have only one piece of luggage, and if necessary, you might have a briefcase, satchel type thing that you take, particularly if it's for work. So let me set up this premise of whether I'm going to pack using the Saddleback front pocket backpack or Dale's Scout backpack. The idea is that I'm going to go away for a 3-day trip, and it's a social holiday trip, so I'm not carrying a briefcase with lots of files and that sort of thing. So let me first introduce you to the Scout backpack from Dale's Leatherworks. My friend Dale Basista made these. I don't think he makes them anymore. They're out of order, and I think he said they take so much time that it's much easier for him to turn his stock doing other things like kilties and leather cuffs and insoles and that sort of thing. But if you can persuade him to make you one of these, then do, because they are absolutely worth it. This is the Scout backpack. He has another one which is a roller top. It's made using Seidel's double shot leather in burgundy. And if you have boots in that leather, you know that it's a very soft and supple leather. Quite waxy and oily when it first comes new. That's gradually settled down. And at one stage when new, when I was wearing these, they would actually stain my shoulders because of the straps. But as you can see, apart from being 100% leather, it's also, where it's metal, 100% solid brass. Really quite expensive work. Even the rivets, the reinforcing rivets are also solid brass. The construction of it is all by hand. Dale, I think, saddle stitches them. That's 2 needles going together and then pulling out. And you can see on the stitches how fine that work is from Dale. I mean, look at the evenness of that stitching. That's why I say if you ever had a chance to persuade him to make you one of these, do that. I don't know if he will. He's probably going to get lots of emails now asking him to make one of these. So we'll see whether he buckles under. So the design is actually very simple. It is one piece of leather that is the flap that gets sewn onto this back piece of leather that then folds all the way up to the front, and then it's stitched on by the sides and the back. So it's like a T-shaped piece of leather that's folded in on itself. The straps are double thickness straps, totally secure with rivets and these brass hardware. There is a pass-through so that you can put it into your roller bag, but it also doubles as a carrying case. Inside, it's just one solid cavity. There's no pockets or anything. And then the only pocket is this front pocket, which can be useful for small items. You can see from Dale's design that this is really an adventure backpack. It's not designed for business use. So usually for business use, I probably wouldn't pack this. I'd pack this for vacations and long weekends away, that sort of thing. Let's now take a look at the Saddleback front pocket backpack. So this is the Saddleback front pocket backpack. I have reviewed both of these, and you can go and check out the individual reviews, which will give you a lot more detail. So this is chrome tanned leather. It's made in a sort of distressed crazy horse style. It's tanned in a crazy horse style, which means it's slightly sanded and then made to look a bit distressed, well oiled and in the tanning. But it is chrome leather, so it's not a combination. The The manufacture is much more machine manufacture rather than by hand. There's actually a sewing machine that goes through and stitches all the panels together. The construction is very similar to Dale's. There is one piece of leather that forms the flap, the back, and the bottom. And then the front piece of leather is stitched to the sides and the bottom and goes all the way around to the other side and stitched around there as well. The hardware is a little bit harder to puzzle out than Dale's. It's got stainless steel nickel hardware, but the rivets, I think, are brass. They're sort of like tarnished brass. So I'm not quite sure what the design aesthetic is in the two metals. It's made much more rugged. This is something that if you look at it, forgetting it's a backpack, the way it's stitched together, you kind of imagine this is on the back of a horse, like cowboys would hook something onto the back of the saddle. It's done in that sort of way with lots of rivets and reinforcing points and so on. Very sturdily made. Each of the reinforcing points is sandwiched inside with a piece of nylon, stiff nylon that keeps the leather together. A couple of design features. Inside the backpack, which I'll show you, there is a flap of leather which is said to be the computer flap. It's quite loose. I'm not quite sure I'd put a computer in there, but I will in this little experiment. And they also have two side pockets on the inside. On the outside, they have these two side pockets and this front pocket. Behind each of them is a cavity. So you can actually slip things in there very quickly and retrieve them. The comfort factor, again, these are also double thickness, and they give you this little, what would you call it, padding full of leather, which I don't like. It's useful. This doesn't hurt anyway, but this is useful as extra padding, but I don't like because it just slips all over the place. I kind of wish they'd just stitch it on or rivet it on or something. So, let's go pack it. Let's go through what I would take with me on this hypothetical 3-day trip. It is a combination of clothing, obviously, and some notebooks and hardware and stuff that I would take with me in case I'm recording or taking photographs and things. Not forgetting that in this spread, I'm not showing you a wallet and my phone, because that's generally on my person at any one time in a pocket or something. And also don't forget that some of these clothing I'll be wearing to the site or back from it, and I'll walk you through it. So maybe let's start with the clothes that I might take with me. And don't forget it's a 3-day trip. So I think what you want to do is firstly consider the weather, and then consider what it is you're doing. Now let's say this 3-day trip is in the current light spring weather that we're having here in Western Australia. It's cool, not cold, but it is raining, and so might be requiring something that keeps you warm and that can easily dry. So almost everything I have here is made of merino wool because it's lightweight, it's antimicrobial. You can wear it for 2 or 3 days at a time. It won't stink, and easy to iron, easy to smooth out. And let's say what we're doing on this trip is, in fact, it's a casual trip. Let's say we're going on a 3-day long weekend in the wine country down south. So it'll be relaxed. It won't be very dressy, but in some cases it'll be smart casual. I'm not going to show you a pair of boots in this because I won't be packing a pair of boots, but it will be something that matches this sort of clothing. So something that maybe is in a kudu or a waxed commando, or waxed commander, or it might be, something suede, something that's easy to go with this. The key is to put together a capsule wardrobe that's of similar colors, all neutral, all earth. So we have a black long sleeve polo made of merino wool. We have a lightweight Harrington jacket. We have a pair of 365 pants from Flint and Tinder in a sort of dark grey, which in the dark could do for a slightly formal kind of dinner, where I might match it with this proper cloth merino wool dressy shirt. I would also have a lightweight t-shirt made of merino wool and a Henley, also made of merino wool, and this merino wool check shirt. So my thinking is I'd be wearing a combination of these depending on the weather. I might layer 2 layers on top and a jacket, or I might just have a shirt and no layers and no jacket. And, depending on what the weather forecast is. And as you can see, it mixes and matches, and everything is lightweight and it's foldable and will go into packing cases, packing cubes. And everything matches, and you can really kind of like flip-flop them around. Then let's look at what I might bring that's not clothing. Oh, that's my jocks and socks. And this is what I might bring that's not clothing. So obviously a Mac, my MacBook, cables for the Mac and all sorts of cables, my external disk drives in case I'm doing anything for Bootlosophy, an iPad for entertainment and easy searches and that sort of thing, earbuds, wired earphones. Sometimes I listen to music or something off my phone until I fall asleep, so I don't want to lose earbuds in the bedding. A microphone, selfie stick, my keys. This will not be on me because they're bulky, so generally they tend to be in my coat pocket, but because we're traveling with this lightweight stuff, I think that's likely to be packed inside the bag. I will carry with me my notebook, which will allow me to write ideas and that sort of thing, but I also have a small travel notebook, which I may or may not keep on my person. Then I have an EDC kit, and I note I've said air because this one I can grab if I'm going on an aircraft because it doesn't have anything pokey. Set of sunglasses and my reading glasses, my toiletries. I've been traveling a lot in the last 40 decades for business, and I've learned how to pack small. So I've got folding toothbrushes, small toothpaste tubes, squeezy shaving creams, a folding razor, all that sort of stuff, small little spray of cologne. Over here, I have reading material. I am not of the Kindle variety. I prefer to have paper books because I have a library that I collect them into, physical library. And I have a power pack. I have chargers. This is a double USB adapter thing. And then a cable that has 3 connectors. So that's very useful for charging 2 or 3 things at a time. This is really useful. I can't remember what it's called, but it clips on and you can undo this this purple thing, and it transforms itself into a hook that you can hook your bags onto under a table. And then a mini pen, space pen, and a small flashlight torch. Right, so let's try and get these into the backpacks. So this is my kit ready for packing. I have not included the jeans, the long sleeve polo shirt, and the Harrington jacket because I'll be wearing them. And I've put the t-shirts and so on with my socks and jocks. And I've got the 2 button-up shirts in here. This little packing cube is full of little charging cables and that sort of thing for when I'm traveling. And then here's the books and so on. I've laid them in 2 different piles because one pile will go into the backpack and one pile will go into the pockets of the backpack. I forgot to say that this is a pretend 1 piece of luggage only trip. So let's start packing. In packing the Saddleback backpack, I'm going to start with my laptop, which has a sleeve sewn into it. So I'll slip that in, and then I'll also slip in my iPad because it's flat, keeps it quite nice and tidy. What I'll then do is start to pack the insides with some heavier stuff. So for example, my toiletries go down at the bottom. I will put in the books and so on at the bottom as well, so that they fill the heavier bottom part of the backpack. Then cables and hard drives, which actually take up a lot more room than my clothing itself. Then comes the clothing in there. Second packing cube in there. It's starting to fill up. And then I have a sort of loose packing cube with power packs and chargers It fits quite easily in there. The value of the merino wool clothing, of course, is that, again, it's fairly easy to uncrease after a trip. So that's the main body. Then we've got these 3 pockets, and what I'll do is I'll fill them with things like my EDC kit and small things that could go lost, and this I'm just going to clip to the handle. Keys and so on can go in there, and I'll show you what I do with this in a minute, and then I'll close this up. And what I like about this saddleback is that each pocket has a back pocket. So what I'm going to do, because I might need my notebook, is shove that in there, and then my pen and torch in there as well, so I can get to them easily. Next, I have my glasses, reading glasses, and my sunglasses. They'll go into one of the side pockets. I'm making this up as I go along, of course. And then the other side pocket, we'll put in my selfie stick, my microphones, and my earbuds. And there you go. Everything other than what I will wear on the trip. I'll just make sure that's in and tight. And there you go. Nicely packed and compact. Let's pack Dale's Scout backpack. Dale's Scout backpack is really designed for adventure more than, I guess, convenient winery visits. But I'm going to use the principle where my flat laptop and iPad goes down against my back, and then I'm going to fill it with the heavier stuff, like my toiletries bag down at the bottom, and then pack it with other flat items like the notebook and my reading material, making sure that it's really flush inside. Other heavy material, I'm putting in my laptop cables and then my hard drives. So that really fills the bottom of it. And then I'm going to put in my clothing. So it has a little room to put the clothes in various attitudes, flat or sideways or horizontal or vertical. You make sure you put it in. And then my packing cube of sort of like power packs and other charging cables and so on. Now, I have only one pocket on the outside, so most of my small goods will have to go inside as well. So I'm going to put my EDC kit in there, find some room, and I'm going to put my reading glasses in here as well, because it's unlikely I'll need them during the trip. And I'm also going to put in there my selfie stick and microphone kit. And then I'll tighten this up with these 2 straps and creates a pretty nice seal once you've broken the leather in. So now I have this small outside pocket. I'll put in my sunglasses. I'll put in things like my traveling notebooks. I might want to get to it quick. This, again, I'll clip to there. Put my keys in there. Cable earbuds, wired earbuds, pen and torch, and my wireless earbuds. So everything fits, but more things have to be fitted in here than on the outside pockets. Which is fine, I guess, if you're just putting these in a car and driving away. There you go. So there we go. If you're interested in either of these, you can go back into my channel listings and go and check the reviews of these 2. You can just search for them, Bootlosophy Saddleback and Bootlosophy Scout Backpack. Just search for that and you'll find these 2 videos, I'm sure. So very different in terms of construction, Not too dissimilar in terms of design, other than the extra pockets, for example. Different leathers. You have always chrome tan leather. It's not always this distressed crazy horse leather, and you can get, or you could get, different types of leather for Dale's Scout backpack as well. I think in terms of robustness, they're both about the same. This leather being a supple combination tanned, oil tanned leather is a lot more supple, and the straps kind of feel a little less robust, let's say. I don't think they are, but they feel a lot more supple than these super thick mothers. In terms of what they carry, I think the Saddleback has an advantage because of the extra side pockets. You don't, and also because of the flaps on the inside. You don't lose small things inside the volume of this Scout backpack. And I think that portrays the thinking behind the design. This is definitely for traveling, all types of traveling, potentially business traveling. I do use this when I travel on business. And you saw me put the backpack in there, but what I would do is put it into a sleeve, and then when I'm going to the office, I leave this behind in the hotel room. I take the sleeve out with my files or whatever. I tend to use the Scout only when I'm vacationing. So there you go. I hope you like this comparison video. Dale, I'm pretty sure he said in the video he doesn't make these anymore because it takes so long. But if you want one of these, if you really, really want one of these, then offer him the earth and try and persuade him to make you one. I think it's worth it. Don't forget to click on like, and if you haven't subscribed, this is an aberration. I usually review boots. Go and see my channel and subscribe. Otherwise, you take care out there, and I'll see you again next week.